Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we're covering Trevenant. Trevenant is a very cool Pokemon, really good attack at base 110, base 85 HP which is pretty good, and then base 76 and base 82 in the defences. Now that's not amazing, but it's still good enough to be able to live a few hits, and also with some of the gimmicks you can run with Trevenant, you should be able to live these hits in general. Now today we've got 3 sets, 2 generic and 1 dynamax, and we're just going to jump straight in. So the first set we have is a Life Orb set. Now this Life Orb is just going with the 4 moves on here. I thought it works a little bit better than having a choice band. You could go for the choice band, but just having the options with Trevenant can work quite nicely. Now Trevenant is really good with Trick Room, so you can set up Trick Room with probably a Brave Nature is what you're most likely going to go for. Maybe even with Room Service as the item to lower your speed by 1 stage, and it also gets access to Trick Room itself, so it can set it up if you want to do that way. Now, as I said with this first set, we've got Life Orb, we've got Frisk, so you can see the item of the opposing Pokemon. Now, you could go for a Frisk Trick set if you wanted to go for that. That is an option. Trevenant does actually have a bit of variety in the way that you can run it. Now, move-wise, Horn Leech, powerful Grass-type attack, boosted by Stab, and also gets you some health back because you are going to be taking hits and losing health with the Life Orb. You've got Sucker Punch, which is an egg move. It is a priority move. Obviously hits a variety of different Pokemon and is obviously priority as well. So having the opportunity to go first when you're such a slow Pokemon is really helpful. Then Drain Punch, another option to get your health back and just hit other Pokemon such as Steel types, which you can't really hit with the Horn Leech. And then finally Earthquake hits things like Fire types, which can be a concern for you. EV's gone for max HP and max attack with an adamant nature, some more attack, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. So if you want to go for a Trick Room variant on this, you could go for a Brave Nature, so the plus attack and minus speed. Again, you could go for things like Room Service if you wanted to. You could take off one of these moves, maybe like Sucker Punch or something, and go for Trick Room on there instead. The second set is the most common version of Trevenant I have run, and it is a Citrus Berry Harvest set. So, Harvest, if you didn't know, basically there is a 50% chance every turn of your berry being re-harvested, so you get a berry back. Now, your Citrus Berry activates when you're at half health. Now, if you have Protect on here, for example, you can normally protect and make sure that you have a Citrus Berry at all times, so you can make sure your health is being controlled somewhat. But move-wise, I've gone for Horn Leech. That's your good recovery move, boosted by Stab, and it's obviously with a high attack, you're going to do a little bit of damage. Leech Seed. Leech Seed is a really good option to have. Now, Leech Seed allows for you to get a little bit of health back every turn. It will even force the opponent to switch out, which can be beneficial for you, and it can also cause dwindling down of the Pokemon through a variety of turns very, very quickly, and being able to take them out very easily later on in the match. So Leech Seed is just really beneficial to have in any option, in my opinion. Will-O-Wisp, now this halves the attack power of physical Pokemon, which is really, really helpful for you sometimes. Obviously things like Conkeldurr become a lot less concerning with Will-O-Wisp on there, and the fact that a lot of fighting types are physical, you can switch in on them, not take the damage because you're a ghost type, and then use the Will-O-Wisp on them to halve their attack power, potentially. And then finally Earthquake, another coverage move, which will hit a different Pokemon like Steel types and Fire types for super effective damage. Eevee's gone for max HP, max special defense with a careful nature, so more special defense, less special attack, and 4 EVs in attack. You could always go for the max defense instead with the impish nature if you would like, if you want to go more for the physical wall variant rather than a special, kind of like tanky wall, I suppose. But yeah, it's up to you what you decide to go for based on what you want Trevenant to do. Finally, we have a Dynamax set. So on here, we've got Grassy Glide with the Terrain Extender. Now, Terrain Extender will work well when you Dynamax and use Grassy Glide as max overgrowth to set up the grassy terrain. That will then give you a +1 priority in Grassy Glide, which can be really effective. If you was to run Sucker Punch on here as well, that gives you 2 forms of priority to hit a variety of different Pokemon. You could always go for something along the lines of Grassy Seed if you want to increase up your defense a little bit more instead of the Terrain Extender, but it's up to you what you go for. Even Choice Band, for example, can work quite nicely here as well. Now, the Grassy Glide, the +1 priority, boosted by Stab and boosted slightly by the Grassy Terrain as well, is going to hit Very, very hard on a lot of different Pokemon. You then have coverage in Earthquake. Again, I've covered that before. Shadow Claw, powerful stab, ghost type move. You can have that on any of these sets. Obviously, it's a stab, so it can be really helpful to have. And then finally, Drain Punch as your ability to get a little bit of recovery. Because you are going to take hits when you are Dynamaxed. If you want to go for something along the lines of Leech Seed on this set, so you can use Max Guard just in case you're a little bit concerned, then you can. But the Drain Punch really doubles up into, you turn to Max Knuckle, increasing up your attack stat as well, allowing for that Grassy Glide to hit a little bit harder than it would. EV's gone for max HP and max attack with an Adamant Nature, so more attack, less special attack. Brave is always an option, and then 4 EVs in special defense. That is all for Trevenant, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.